Hello, everybody, and welcome to Naughty or Nice with Miss Cassie. I'm so glad you're able to join me tonight. And tonight, my very special guest will be Jack Steele.
Hey, good to be back.
Oh, I'm so glad you were able to make it. And we're sorry PJ can't be with us. Evidently, she has picked up a bit of a nasty cold.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, well, PJ, we wish you well and hope you get well really, really soon. Sooner than soon.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's see, when was the last time you had her on the show? Was it about a year ago? Or
Maybe a year ago, maybe a little less.
Yeah, it's been a while. Have you done any new video work since then?
Oh, I did one a couple months ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was okay.
It was okay?
It was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Yeah? Can people view it at this point, or do you know?
It's going to be on some Playboy thing somewhere sometime, but I don't know.
Oh, was that with Lucia?
Yeah, that was with
Oh, that's
Lucia,
kind of
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they've been actually venturing a lot more into the BDSM stuff, because I was in a thing for them that they did with Jumbo Clown Girls that was hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's been very interesting who's been doing what where.
Yeah.
So, wow. How was it working with Playboy?
It was pretty good.
Pretty good?
Nice professional shoot.
They treat you well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did they feed you?
Not sure. I think they had sandwiches or something.
Well, that's nice. I know it's a silly question to ask, but, you know, it always blows me away when the set is professional enough that they actually feed the actors and keep you hydrated. And it's such a trick where, you know, you show up and it's like, you know, no, baby, we got 4 hours to get it in and get it out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. And if you're a smoker, you better hope it's a smoking video.
Oh,
because there ain't no time. Oh, so what kind of things did you do in the video?
Oh, it was mostly just standing naked, you know, up on a cross, and just sort of more of a demonstration video than an actual full-on, you know, erotic piece.
So you mostly just stood
sadism.
naked?
Yeah.
Did they hit you with anything?
Yeah. Whips, foggers.
Foggers.
Yeah.
For real or for just crazies?
There are a couple good hits. You know. You know, I mean, not like doing a scene. I mean,
oh, man.
It's like,
I know. And I know when I've done those spanking videos and stuff, and it's like, well, I don't know. We don't hold back in the spanking videos, though. We go full bore. We have some symbols, and we made the mistake of making our go softer word bitch.
That could work.
No, that was the go hard. It was one of the words, and it was hilarious because it was like you kept wanting to use the word, and it just, I don't know. It didn't matter. We were both seasoned spankers and spankies. We didn't have any problem when we went harder. We went softer. We ended up laughing through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a good time.
Yeah.
But spankings usually are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow, time does go by fast, but you know, it's been fun, you know, getting to play with you and stuff, and getting to do different things with you. And matter of fact, I understand that Anarchy is doing a female boxing thing in July. And I was wondering, do you want to come box with me?
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool, because I told Tetra we were going to. Or I might turn you into a punching bag. I haven't decided, or maybe both.
Yeah.
How would you like to be the punching bag for the event and have all these women like beat up on you?
Oh, that sounds fun.
Does that sound like fun?
Yeah.
I'm sure I could totally talk her into it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, totally Scening at Anarchy. We're going to have fun with it.
All right.
Yay!
Yeah, Anarchy's that's a fun.
It is a fun event. It is a fun event. Now, for the ladies, they'll have rules like no hitting in the face and stuff. But what kind of rules do we make for you? What kind of rules do you want?
No.
Hitting below the belt is definitely for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, must hit below the belt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't want to ruin the pretty face.
Well,
But,
yeah.
you know, a little face slapping couldn't
Yeah,
hurt.
let's just say the face is, it's seen enough.
Oh, it's going to be a fun scene. I love Tetris events. You know, I'm so glad you kind of lets us have free reign like that.
Yeah.
Because they have loved our last few scenes that we did. They're still talking about the zombie one.
Yeah.
You totally stole the show. We this was at Steampunk Zombie Apocalypse at the Anarchy thing, and Jack and PJ were zombies, and I had Susan tied down to this thing, and I chopped her arm off with a nice knife, one of your big samurai like sword thingies. Yeah. And once I finally got the arm off, because the shirt was a lot tougher than I thought, it was hilarious. I'm like sawing through it. I'm going to get this. I rip it off and I just give it to him. And what the audience didn't know is that we had taken a turkey leg and barbecue sauce, and we had slipped it inside this plastic arm that we cut off. So he actually started eating the arm, and it was like, you know, the sauce is getting everywhere, and there's this actual meat. It like totally stole the show. They thought I chopped her arm off. We had so much fun though. And we did a really good job of containing the barbecue sauce, because I know I was plastering you guys with it.
Yeah. And then finish it off with the gummy worms.
Oh, I know that. I forgot about the gummy worms. Oh, yeah, for the end, you know, because I had to feed, you know, my zombie brains. I pretended to cut his head off, and I had a thing of gummy worms there, and I was feeding him to Susan, the other zombie. It was a priceless scene. It's so much fun. And you know, at the end, towards the end there, what I the slip and fall. Actually, that was a prat fall. So many people kept coming up to me. Are you okay? Are you okay? We saw you fall. It's like, score. Totally pulled that one off. Made you look. Oh my God, that was hilarious. I mean, I knew we totally had them. I knew we had them anyways. That whole scene took them. But I knew they were totally sucked in when they were just like, and they were rushing up to try to help and stuff. I'm fine. Cool. Well, we'll have just as much fun next month. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because I actually do like boxing. When I was a little girl, that was one of the few things I did with my dad, is that he had a few sets of gloves, and he would take me out in the yard with my brothers, and he was teaching us how to box. You know, and I mean, I just remember that, and I actually still remember most of it and stuff, you know, which I thought was pretty cool. It's a real art. Oh, yeah. You know, he's teaching us how to block and to jab, and, you know, how not to hurt each other, you know, being kids. You know, we had to always show good restraint. Yeah.
Well, those are skills. So for some people, they come in handy later.
Yes.
How to punch somebody without hurting them.
True.
Gee, how could that be useful later?
It may or may not be useful later. I know it saved my ex-wife's neck. She would get me so pissed off. I've never had anybody in my whole life that could get me pissed off to the point where I actually wanted to physically harm them. Yeah. And she sometimes would press some buttons. And that's how I broke my hand one time, punching a wall, just because I just refuse. I will not hit a person in anger. I just won't do it. You know, just because your judgment is askew at that point. You know, yeah, it is a little askew.
Yeah.
It's a lot of skew. Yeah, and you don't want me focused when I'm mad. So I usually choose just to step aside when my temper goes.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel it's the best thing. I've only got one person in the entire, well, no, actually, there's two people in the entire scene that they make me so angry where I have to actually just walk by them like they don't exist.
Yeah.
You know, just because, you know, I forgive them for being the human beings that they are, but, you know, they've done some wrong to me that I don't need that in my life. And I just, you know, I don't need that kind of negativity and anger. So I just choose to walk beyond that one, you know, and yeah, I just don't play in anger or anything. Besides, play is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
We have
exactly.
a blast.
Oh,
we
yeah.
laugh, you know, we think about what we're doing, you know, it's like my pink baseball bat's my new favorite toy.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me hit you with that.
Oh, no, that was fun.
I love that thing.
Mhm.
Hey Mel, are there any questions in the chat room yet?
No, there's no question in the chat room, but there's quite a few people that are watching. For the people that are watching, please come to TSR Network and come into the chat room. Go to TSR Network /watch live and come and watch the live show with us and chat in the chat room. They're talking about some interesting things. We have PJ Steele in the chat room.
Hey PJ.
She says she has a earache and a sore throat, but she's here to support Jack Steele and Cassie. And that's about it. But we have lots of people that are watching. Please come into the chat room and hang out with us. We need your questions and your comments.
We do. We do. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun over the last year. But one thing that I've really enjoyed is you and PJ enjoy blood play.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something that I haven't been able to do in a while because, you know, to me, you've got to find the right people in order to do that kind of play.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of people. No blood. Which, understandable.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. And it's only certain people that, you know, enjoy that kind of intensity, shall we say. Yeah. You know, oh, goodness sakes. I forgot my water.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about blood play, it's just, you know, the mess and, you know, just all the preparation to keep everything clean.
Well, yeah,
it
is a lot of work. But you know what? I wouldn't play with anybody that didn't give the attention to detail that's needed for that kind of scene. That's why you know, a lot of people in the scene didn't know that I do any kind of blood play or needle play or cuttings for that matter. It's because that's something that I just haven't done in public until DomCon, and your wife talked me into it. Let me tell you, that was fucking nerve-wracking, PJ. You know, cutting in public, you know. It was a good scene, but oh my gosh, you know, I am used to having pure confidence on stage. But it was fun. I was surprised at how straight my cuts actually were. I thought for sure that they were going to be a little cattywampus. But they turned out really well. Thank you.
What a cute PA.
I know. She's amazing. But she won't let us spank her, you know? I'm used to working in places where we're allowed to harass the help.
Well, I don't pay her enough. Oh, that's what it is. I don't pay her enough.
No, that'll do it.
Well, what do we want to pay her in?
Rubies.
Rubies. Oh my God. Speaking of rubies, I mean, this is totally off subject. I was watching like when on the Science Channel on these how it's made type deals, and they were talking about this really high-end cell phone that they only make exclusively in England at this one company, and these phones are like $6,000. And the part of the cell phone, you know, on the buttons where it presses down is actually a little plastic sheet in there for the connector. They don't have a plastic sheet in there. They have rubies, actual rubies. Speaking of being paid in rubies, actual rubies underneath the keypad for these cell phones. It evidently conducts better than the plastic. Who knew?
Well, rubies is the crystal for the first chakra of your body. It's your grounding.
Is that the root chakra?
Yeah, ruby.
I thought it's the garnet.
No, it's ruby.
Okay.
It's red. Has to be a red stone.
Well, garnet's very red. It's a deep red.
Yeah, well, ruby's better than garnet.
Well, yes, actually, a ruby is far more valuable than a garnet. It's true, though. Rubies are beautiful.
PJ said, I loved bleeding all over DomCon stage.
That was a spectacular scene. I don't know if you guys saw the photo that I used for the tonight's announcement on Facebook. I picked a pretty vanilla looking one so that it wasn't too graphic. Yeah. But it was one where they caught it off to the side, and I had just cut the star on the one side, and it was just starting to drip. But the photo's dark, so you really can't tell that's blood. I know it is. Yeah. You know it is. Yeah. You know, but I didn't want to put anything scary that was out there for the public like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was even very thoughtful on Twitter, where we have a little bit more free reign, didn't put any of the bloody ones up. Well, because you don't know how squeamish some people are. Oh, yeah. You know, I know that when we had talked about the possibility of doing an actual cutting on the show, but I didn't clear it with Mel, and I didn't find out what the rules of that were. And then I was thinking, if we were to ever actually do that, it would have to be like an after-hours segment. You know, and we might have to have it basically a private showing. Can we do that like with a special show like that where we where it's by invitation only, Mel?
Probably when we come back from vacation we can do that.
Yeah, because you know, it's like I would love to do something like a cutting or something very beautiful like that. But you know, because of the nature of the skill and the fact that it would be so taboo, and it's not something that I would want just, you know, somebody's kid running across on the internet or something. That would just, that would be, I feel that would be irresponsible, but it can be so beautiful, and I would love to be able to show something like that. So we can do maybe a private thing when we get back for something like that.
Yeah, we could probably put it up for adult, you know, because you can on YouTube. You can do more adult things on the adult area, but we don't use the adult area because we don't want to get kicked off.
Okay. I didn't realize there was an adult area on YouTube.
PJ said that she's down for cutting on camera.
Well, I knew she would be. No problem. We're going to make that happen. But before that time, I hope that we will play some more, because I want to expand on the cutting that we started on her leg. I have some ideas if she's down for it. You know, it will be beautiful. Trust me. I have an entire mural in mind. But, you know, it's another canvas. Speaking of canvases, this is the first penis I have ever put needles in. Ta-da! Oh, actually, it's Jack. The penis that is attached to Jack is the first penis I ever put needles in. Not this penis. No, he does let me put needles in other parts of his body too. And matter of fact, he's the one that I did my first dream catcher on, because I was experimenting and trying to come up with like a spirograph design. And finally, my girlfriend Lisa goes through. She goes, "Why don't you just do a dream catcher?" I said, "Okay." And I grabbed some yarn and I made a dream catcher for the very first time on somebody's back. Yeah. And that was so freaking cool.
Oh, that was cool.
It was very cool. And I have to tell you, we used the yarn on you. And then on Susan, I've been doing the ribbon.
Mm.
I think I like the yarn better. There's a lot more play in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was able to stretch more. You know, I don't know. It's all fun. It's just such an interesting art form, you know. Well, for me, it's a lot of fun because I mean, I do arts and crafts, and then actually to be able to bring it to a different level is very rewarding for me. It's fun to be doing something artistic in the scene again. That's actually fun for me because I spend so much time, doing my suspensions and different things, which I love. I love doing rope, but a lot of times it's like, well, you have to do your scene in 20 minutes and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of times they really suck the creativity out of it when you perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed in the scene that a lot of times that, because I was always having to do my scenes according to the venue's, event, what they wanted, I was starting to lose some of my creativity. Mm-hmm. And I have to thank you and PJ for allowing me to find that love again, that mm-hmm. fun, the spontaneity. Because I really enjoy that, which, reminds me once, at least through being sick, mm-hmm. I have to come over. We haven't played in a while. Mm-hmm. Definitely got to do that.
Yeah.
Any questions yet, Mel?
Nope.
Okay, well. Well, I talked about how, it's fun to be playing and doing stuff that I like again. But there are people out there that don't know what play entails and what we do when we endeavor to undertake this. That, that we do know a bit about each other's medical history, the top as well as the bottom, because you are actually dealing with something that can puncture the skin. So, all parties need to be comfortable with, what's going on. Yeah. We take great precaution in cleaning the skin and the surface and making sure that all our tools are sterile. We buy prepackaged needles. So we usually, I like getting our stuff from, I think it's, is it Kink Medical? Bruce up in Oregon. He's fabulous. Kinky Medical. I think isn't that the one that's Susan?
One of them, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I forget if it's .net or .org, but it's the one with Bruce, and he's out of Portland, I think, and he is like the best for medical supplies if you do medical kink. I really dig his stuff. Matter of fact, I hear that they've got a new thing for Technicare now. Mm-hmm. I want to check and see if he's got that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different things we can use to disinfect the skin. We often use rubbing alcohol and iodine. I personally prefer Technicare. They don't make that anymore, so I'm looking for the new surgical scrub that they have. These are solutions and germicides that, are antibacterial, antiviral. They killed a multitude of things that we're worried about, like the hepatitis viruses and so forth. Anything that we would worry about being on the skin, which in this day and age could be just about anywhere. I mean, Hep B is that is sexually transmitted. That can, that one is a lot easier to transmit than people think. Hepatitis A is foodborne, or I'm not even sure if that's airborne. But a lot of these things, are more common than people think. Parasites. You don't want any more parasites in your body than you already have or already running rampant with them. Yeah. Americans have no idea how many parasites are residing in your body because Western medicine refuses to acknowledge the fact that there are parasites in a not third world country. They know more about getting rid of parasites than we do because we don't want to face the ugly fact that they exist. It drives me up a freaking wall. I know that when you do a parasite cleanse, it's amazing, what you clear in your body. Sorry, Mel, this is a pet peeve of mine. Because people don't wash their freaking hands. Oh. The stuff that we get just in the fruit in the supermarket. And I'm not a germaphobe. This is fact.
Oh, okie dokie.
Alrighty then.
All right, let's talk about parasites. Then we'll talk about scat.
Well, if you're gonna play with scat, you better know about parasites. Okie dokie. But we don't play with scat. We don't do any of that. But no, it's there are a lot of things that we do need to kill on the surface of the skin, and that we don't want to end up in our body.
Yeah.
That's true.
Art Miller has just come into the chat room. Hello, Art Miller.
Art Miller.
Yeah.
Hey, Art Miller. It's been a while.
Welcome to Parasite City.
Oh, I know he's going to have a good question. Art, we are talking about blood play, actually. And I got a little dry. Oh, my goodness. Because we were talking about the part where we clean the skin before we actually play. Oh my goodness, this cold is killing me.
And then we talked about parasites.
Because they could be crawling on the skin. It's one of the things that the germicide will kill.
Yeah, you ever see the ads? They go, "If only America knew," and then you click on that ad, and it's a video ad about parasites, and I want to puke, and I throw it up, and you can't turn it off because it won't let you, and it's like a virus, and now I have parasites on my computer because of the parasite of watching the parasite video. It's all a manipulation. Never mind.
Yes, but if you do an actual herbal parasite cleanse, a proper one, over the course of 30 days, you will clear all that stuff out of your system. And if you do, well, I don't know what you would do for your computer.
Some kind of computerized cleanse.
Exactly.
Or maybe it's called a virtual cleanse.
There you go. Your computer would need to do a virtual cleanse.
Well, Art Miller says, "Greetings. Nice, happy thoughts then."
Happy thoughts. Well, they are. We have now successfully disinfected our skin so it is safe to play. And unlike fire play, we do not have to shave or clear the thing or do anything special to the skin surface, which is kind of nice. Oh, goodness sakes. Susan, this could be you in 3 days. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Our PA is truly underpaid.
Such a nice PA.
Yeah, we don't pay her at all. She's truly underpaid.
That's okay.
She doesn't even get a spanking.
That's okay. We let her clean up the floors.
No, that's true. Yes. Oh my goodness. All right.
So you know Jack really well. Do you negotiate scenes with him when you play? Oh, PJ says, "Oh no, she doesn't want to get sick like you."
I guess we do negotiate because we do discuss scenes.
Yeah.
You know, and we run into ideas, between each other, but we also perform a lot and we plan our scenes. And I get crazy ideas and they're like the coolest. They're like, "Oh, sure, let's do it." So it's like the coolest negotiation ever. It's very rarely that they ever go, "Huh?"
Then it's easier to do the negotiation with people you played with because you don't have to go. It's like, well, yeah, there's this big long list that, well, we already know that, so we don't have to talk about that. But this new idea, maybe we should talk about this.
Well, and I'm very, very fortunate that Jack is such an extremely heavy bottom, and so is PJ. the two of them will just let me indulge just about any sick fantasy I have running through my mind, which is wonderful. I have to tell you, that makes me an extremely happy dog.
Well, you have some pretty nice sick ideas.
Don't I know? Don't I know? And I love the fact that it doesn't scare you off.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have to tell you, I sometimes have to temper what goes through my mind because it scares the shit out of people. You know, what they don't realize is I am smart and I do plan these things out. And usually I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I at least have a vague idea. Well, I don't know. Have you sustained any permanent damage yet?
Do scars count?
I don't know. Is that permanent damage?
I don't know if they're damage.
Exactly.
Well, it's hard to tell, but you know, is this pain? Is this from those times I was playing, or was this from the times that I lifted those, you know, big old drums of grease? You know, because I didn't feel like looking for the dolly because I had work to get done.
Well, exactly. Yeah. You know, and who knows how much damage that we have sustained in car and clubs where they've done. When they do fire playing, they use the goddamn white gas. It's like, I'm just like, how many brain cells am I losing during this performance?
Yeah.
It's like,
You know, and I'm sure my knees are in better shape than, you know, a lot of professional football players. I mean,
wow.
You know, that's one activity where people get injuries, but you know, we do stuff and we're totally crazy because we might get injured. But you know, if you're doing sports and there's a chance to get injured, well, that's just, you know,
that's
you
justified.
gotta like walk it off type thing because that's sports. So that's okay if you get injured, but not if you get injured doing something different.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's one thing that really bugs me about the scene personally is how quick people are to persecute somebody for a scene that didn't go exactly as planned.
Yeah.
You know, most people I know that play, especially if they're performing on stage, they have negotiated the scene. But sometimes something does go awry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've seen some very intense scenes happen on stage where the audience was not okay with it. And matter of fact, I was stage manager for just one of those kind of blood scenes. It was an interrogation scene that was extremely intense. They had two young ladies on stage and they actually did a series of needles around in the forehead. So there was blood dripping down their entire body. The scene had been well negotiated. Both girls had previously done needle play. They had not done needles in the head before. So they both said it was something they enjoyed. They were down for the scene. The scene was a lot more intense than one of the girls realized, and she flipped out. You know, when the blood started running in her face, I mean, she had a psychotic breakdown just about on stage, where she went a cathartic release and was crying and scared the shit out of the audience. And you know, we got her off stage and everything. I had her people with her, was making sure they got water and everything, and you know, was checking in on them. They had the thing well in hand, and they explained to me the situation. And they had good people there. So it was my job to go back and forth and, you know, triage the situation. And then I started running into audience members, berating me, go, how dare they ever do something like that? They're so irresponsible. They should have blah, blah, blah. And I mean, they're flipping out of me. I'm just going, calm down. First of all, the scene was completely negotiated ahead of time. They knew what to expect. We have people working with them now, making sure they're receiving aftercare. Their family members will be let in a few minutes here. The girls are just about under control. Everything is fine. But still, the entire night, I had people coming up to me and just really, they almost wanted to close the event down. Some people were so shocked by it.
Wow.
You know, wow. People overreact to these situations. And this was a scene that was fully negotiated, including the aftercare afterwards. And this is a scene where somebody didn't actually get hurt. You know, like I have seen happen in other scenes where, they might get cut open by a toy and they didn't negotiate that, or a piece of equipment falls, or breaks and somebody trips and falls. I actually broke my foot during a scene. Audience didn't know that I had, because I was performing, and I actually suspended 3 girls in this scene. But somewhere in the running around, my foot got smashed, and I managed to break the bones in the top of my foot. Fortunately, adrenaline has its way of making things go. I continued. I finished that scene. I walked out of there that night. I just kept thinking that, my foot felt like it was fat and asleep. But no, I had severely sprained it or something. It would be fine by the morning. No, I broke it. They casted that sucker. I was in a cast for a long time. Damn it. But shit happens while you're playing.
Yeah.
Do you think I sued the facility or beat my subs for breaking my foot?
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
No. Shit happens. Question, Mel?
Yeah, we have a question from Art. How do you increase your pain tolerance? Practice, mental games, etc. I'm not much into blood play, reason I didn't pursue medical career. How to build up his pain tolerance.
Well, that is a good one, because it also depends on who you're playing with. If you're playing with somebody who is a really good top or a really good dom and understands pain gate theory and how to build a submissive up and how to, warm them up and get their body used to certain levels, you will build naturally with a relationship. On your own, well, geez, do you spank yourself? I'm sorry. I mean, sorry.
Well, Jack, did you start out as a pain slut, or did you have to build up to it?
Oh, well, I probably started, pretty good, but then I'm sure I built up. I had a big pain tolerance naturally, and then just started doing this, and then it's, oh, that feels good, and then it's like more, and then I'm like, doing videos after like 2 months being in the scene and taking all this pain, and it's like, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, I know you do build a tolerance after a while, because I used to be able to take quite a bit. Now there's just no way. I haven't haven't got the same muscle tone. I haven't got the same tolerance. My nerve endings are much more sensitive.
Yeah, especially when I was like in 2010, I was probably playing doing 2 to 3 heavy scenes a week. So it was, constant, being right up at that level of.
Well, yeah, like you were a couple of years ago when we were doing the Survivor Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
I actually broke a crop over your chest. I have never broken a toy over anybody. I broke a freaking crop over him. But I know that you do build up that tolerance. Some of it's just by receiving, and you will build up a bit of a natural tolerance. Some of it you build up a little bit of scar tissue. So a lot of it's also mental. I know that for a lot of the more intense scenes that I used to bottom for, I used to actually do a form of Zen meditation, and it was a matter of, putting strength into my muscles and my muscle fibers and my muscle cells. And it was actually, I don't know what I would just get myself in a mindset where my body could take more. And I actually would slow down my heartbeat and slow down my breathing and get in this very meditative, whole body state.
Yeah.
And when I was in that state, I was virtually invincible. Well, within reason.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure if you took a hot poker, I would have screamed, but because I'm not particularly into branding all that much.
Yeah, or then in theory, you can get, I'm sure there's people adrenaline wise or just play wise that could get to where you know, everything's feeling so good. It could be, I'm sure you could be doing permanent damage to them and they'd be like still enjoying it. You know, I'm sure that's rare, but I'm sure that that has happened. I know I've done stuff
Yeah.
where I'm feeling like so good and I'm just like, that feels good. And I'm just looking at it visually and in the back of my mind's thinking, probably time to stop this.
Well, yeah, because
oh,
you get on that
yeah.
rush, that endorphin high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've been there both from the top
Yeah.
and the bottom. But Art, in answer to your question, you do build up a tolerance over time playing, and some of it's a mental tolerance and some of it is a physical tolerance. Any more questions, Mel?
Yeah, he wants to elaborate on this. He says, is the mindset an entry into subspace? So when Jack, when you're being beaten, I mean, do you go into that subspace? Is that where your mindset is?
Probably. Well, I'm a little different. Usually, for me, when I get beating, I get like charged up to where I feel like I can just go do anything. I'm like just so full of energy, like even afterwards, and just this feels good. It's like, and I could just feel like I could just go do anything after a beating. But then it's just rare if like I know a lot of people when they're in subspace, they get all dizzy and kind of tired, and but for me, I'm charged up in subspace.
Yeah, it's a little bit different for everybody. For me, it depends on the kind of play as the kind of subspace I get into.
Yeah, that'll change it too.
You know, and then I played with somebody for a long time that was doing breath play with me, and that kind of really messed up my subspace in a way that it really disconnected a lot of things for me, because when you do breath play, I mean, it's such you're quite literally fainting.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of really messed up subspace for me, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, I'm afraid of in regular play to allow myself to go into subspace because of losing control during breath play.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It's a kind of a weird thing.
Yeah. No, I had one breath play where it was probably like the first real breath play, and it was just I kind of got like to where I felt like I was in another plane of existence.
Yeah, you do.
You know, like everything was gone. I mean, or I was just like way somewhere else.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah,
You've cut off your supply of oxygen, and you faint.
Mm-hmm.
You've cut off the oxygen supply to your brain, and you start to hallucinate.
Yeah.
It's very, very dangerous, not something that I recommend. And I know a lot of people don't talk about that. And I have to tell you, breath play really ruined subspace for me. It really did. I used to really enjoy subspace. A good beating could bring me there. A good suspension could bring me there. And I loved it. And that's one of the things that destroyed subspace for me.
And that's messed up.
It is messed up. And I'm so sad. You know, shouldn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
But then again, part of it is that I have probably grown beyond being a submissive. Mm-hmm. You know, I am more dom than ever these days. It's like, I don't know if I've just fully come to the realization of that's who I am now. I mean, I make a lot of jokes about having the masochist beaten out of me. I don't know if this is just my journey, that this is where I am now, mm-hmm. or if I have truly lost, the submissive side of me forever, which is sad, because the switches really do have the most fun.
Yeah.
You really do, but I find that, no, my trust level is damaged and I don't think I can go there anymore. Any more questions, Mel?
Well, there is a question, but, breath play, don't do it unless you really know what you're doing. And it's a very, very touchy conversation that a lot of people have. You don't know the condition of someone's heart. Mm-hmm. So you could do, for 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 2 minutes of joy and fun and fainting, you could end up in jail by, manslaughter. But one of the questions in the chat room, so do not do that at home. No. And this one you may not want to do at home also. PJ says, ask Jack about waterboarding.
Oh, I've been waterboarded. Isn't that fun?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely don't do that at home.
No, I don't recommend it.
And don't do it at a friend's house either.
No, no. So do they do the one where they put the towel over your face and they pour the water over?
Yeah, that's like tied down onto a pallet with my feet raised, towel over my head, and then just water poured down. And,
Oh, that's freaky deaky.
oh, it didn't really bother me. It was just that it was outside in January and it was super cold. So
Oh, wow.
it was the the hypothermia. That was the hard part, not the pretty much holding my breath for most of the pouring, and then
Interesting.
because I was back when I was a lifeguard, and so I was still in really good
So
shape.
you were doing this for fun while you were a lifeguard?
Yeah, when I was a lifeguard, that's when I started going out and doing.
Oh my goodness.
When I did my
that's
first video, I was
interesting.
in really good shape then.
Yeah, and that's classic waterboarding. I know what they did with me is they did an inverted suspension, and I had my hands tied behind my back, so I had no use of my arms or my legs. And then they had this huge trash can full of ice water, and they dunked me in it and pulled me up, and dunked me in and pulled me up.
No,
Yeah, I did that a number of times without warning. Get me down. It was a trip. It was like, okay. Fortunately I grew up, around swimming a lot. So I just knew to just relax.
Yeah.
Either you'll survive it or you won't. Any more questions now?
Well, Art's going to take the advice of not doing it at home. He says, what about at work?
Well, I think that would depend on your employer and what they allow you to do in the workplace, Art.
So what is Jack's favorite thing to do in BDSM?
It's hard to say, but maybe, I don't know, maybe a really, really good caning is always fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I will keep that in mind.
Getting all perfectly warmed up and just, the perfect rhythm of the whips and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on some of that.
Yeah.
Because I do need to start practicing my whip again.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I got a few other toys.
Other toys.
Yes, we should really bring some of my toys out of retirement.
Yeah.
I've got tons of them. I had no idea how many toys I had until I did the DIY show, and I decided to pull out all my homemade toys. I had an entire suitcase full of homemade toys. Yeah. So yes, we do need to dust some of those out and come play.
Yeah.
So Mel, any more questions?
No, they're in the chat room to kind of, digesting the waterboarding and the blood play and the parasites and the blood play. So when did Jack first get into the lifestyle?
I'd say the end of 2009 is when I started going out to the clubs and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's about the same time that I hit the public scene. I hit late 2008.
Yeah. I've been into this for years.
Yeah, I'd always played privately.
Every so often you run into somebody that's into the rope stuff.
Yeah, I would just run into kinky people. I was not even aware that there was a greater scene out there.
No,
I just assumed it was, just like, in the early days of porn is like, just kinky people you met on the back page of the, skin mags.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was any, big community thing. I just thought it was like individual perverts placing classified ads. What can I say? Aren't all perverts seedy like that?
Yep, they sure are.
Yep.
They're bad motherfucker mofos.
Yes, you said it now.
So, Jack, how big is your cock?
Big enough. About 7 1/4, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It can take a lot of needles.
Girth?
Oh, nice.
Just about that wide.
No, it's a little wider than that. It's about lay down.
You say so.
I'll say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang to the left, hang to the right.
Oh, I never noticed the hanging.
It's pretty much straight.
Yeah. So you're
Straight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
it's straight and it's straight.
So we have a question in the chat room. What brought you into the lifestyle or the scene? If you have, can you provide any advice for anyone entering the scene? What would that be?
Advice?
What brought you into the scene, and could you give any advice? And PJ says you have more than a mouthful.
No.
He does.
Well, I guess just the fun is what brought me into the scene. People going out having fun, and my advice for people, in the scene is, try to go to classes and learn something, and Munches are a good place, and there's plenty of dungeons.
There is.
Yeah.
There is, but I find that, people enter the scene for a number of different reasons. I find for men, it's just they're looking for the next easy lay, and a lot of times they're not so much into this as they are into getting their dick, off.
Yeah.
It's still it's just the next thing. It's like it's been explained to me many times with men that sex is just a numbers game, and this is just one of the many numbers of their game. I'm seeing a lot of guys like that out there.
Oh,
and then I see the ones that are truly interested in this, or they've wondered about this all their lives, or they dreamed of their entire life of having a dildo up their ass, or they've had some ongoing BDSM fantasy that has kept them from, quote, doing well in the vanilla end of the sexual realm.
Yeah.
And then I see some women also enter in for different reasons, both emotional and physical, looking for something that isn't middle America.
Yeah.
Isn't missionary. Yes, Mel?
We have Darren has come into the chat room. Patty has come into the chat room, and Patty surprised me at the stock room on Saturday. Yeah, it was really nice to see her. She surprised me. So Art Miller wants to know, how has 50 Shades impacted what you have seen? Aren't male subs a dime a dozen? And what keeps you into it? So there's 3 questions there.
Yeah, from what I've heard, male subs are really, really the majority. That's just why I'm glad I'm a switch, so I have more opportunity.
Well, that's a nice way of looking at it.
Yeah. Even if you're a male sub and there's all this other thing, if that's what you want to do, there's going to be competition, but it's like, well, I'll go do this that I don't want to do because there's more opportunity. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
No, yeah, it's like I don't like subs that do things just because they're going to get a mistress's good graces. That makes me mad. Because you think you're going to be my oral slave. That is never going to happen. I love playing with Jack, but he knows that his tongue is never going to end up in my vagina. Sorry.
Oh, well.
Sorry. You can watch my girlfriend stick her tongue in mine.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just tie you up in the corner. You can watch.
Oh,
yeah.
You guys are sick motherfuckers.
Isn't that why we're here?
Well, a little bit,
Yes.
Well, getting back to, the different kind of people that are ending up in the lifestyle now. And I don't think anybody is, quote, sick. I think people just have different ways there's different things that make people tick. We've all got something, that completes us. For some of us, vanilla sex does not complete us. Jerry Maguire does not complete us. The story of O might complete us.
I I don't know. I haven't had sex for a very long time. I think I'd feel very complete after having get my brains fucked out.
Oh, I would hope so.
Oh, Art Miller wants to know if you guys are selling tickets to that.
Cute. We're gonna sell tickets to Mel getting her brains fucked out.
No. It was tickets for him watching your girlfriend eat you out.
No.
No. We're not gonna.
We
No.
don't sell tickets to that.
And we don't sell tickets to Mel getting fucked.
No, not my girlfriend. I mean, if you want to see that, I know a few subs on kink.com. I mean, we can do some things, but what?
Question. I'm talking about videos, online, porn and online BDSM porn. Do you think it has changed up because it's oversaturated the market?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how has that affected your business?
The video work is fewer and far between. When I first started in this back in 2009, it was really easy for me to get fetish modeling jobs. Really easy. And then, a year later, it got harder. 2 years after that, I mean, the bottom really fell out. Even well-known fetish models that I know of were not getting work anymore. So yeah, the amateur, a lot of that stuff has really affected the business. And then we're seeing a lot of stuff out there that's not really legit. It's still so. Where is the true kink?
Why should we pay for it? You can go on to FetLife, see all the cock and all the pussy, all the tying up, all the videos that you want to see, and you get it for free. Except for
she's got videos on their sites.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a few purists out there and stuff that, they still like to, there is something to be said about subscribing to a social site that's into what you're into.
Yeah.
So I think that, because as humans, we do things in groups. And I think that there's always going to be a little bit of that, but then again, there's always going to be those wankers that want to do it for free in their living room. Like this idiot that came to my rope class that was a total fucking pain in the ass, sucked up my time for the entire class, starting to piss the other students off. And finally at the end, he's like, well, what kind of references can you? So I start naming all these great references. He says, no, I want free stuff. So I gave him some references for some free videos and said, bye. I could not believe that, here are all these other people came to class to learn something. And all he did was, now he will not be welcome back into the class. That's just not cool. All right. I know. Stop that. Stop that. She's like doing this thing with her hand. I'm going to be hypnotized and
well, there's
making me dizzy.
There's quite a few people that are watching and quite a few people in the chat room, but Miss Cassie is not feeling very good, so I'm not going to force her to stay longer because she can hardly breathe.
Well, actually, the truth is she doesn't want to catch my cold. She doesn't want to tell you that she's the germaphobe tonight.
No. I'm not a germaphobe. Nope.
Germs.
But you get me sick, you're dead.
You made me dead before I get you sick.
PJ says that Jack needs to be put in the corner and to add a pillow fight. So you like pillow fights, Jack?
Okay.
PJ, beat him up when he gets home.
She's sad.
Yeah, she needs to save her energy.
She does. Yeah, get well, PJ.
I don't know. Have you ever had sex when you were really sick and it was like the most hardest cum you've ever had because you can't fight it and just let go of it because you're so sick you can't even move?
Yes, I have had sex and I've been extremely ill. And it really fucks you up when you're sick, because the next time you're sick, you start getting really horny. And it's really fucking sucks. You're like so goddamn sick and you're fucking horny, so you're like sneezing and masturbating at the same time. You know, you can't even enjoy any good porn. I mean, it's just like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I can just see that. Sneezing and masturbating. Which one's to come and which is to stop?
Oh my God, Jack.
Never mind. Yeah, and I want to remind people that that we have 2 more shows, which is the next 2 Tuesdays. I'm off completely because there's things that are happening, and we will be off for about 2 months, July and August, and then we'll be back, and we may have some news when we get back. So if you get lonely for us, please put on the archives and watch our archive shows and catch up. And Art Miller in the chat room says, "What is the world coming to?"
Well, next week it's coming to spanking models.
Yay.
I will be having some spanking models on TSR next week. I have been talking with a very good friend of mine who does spanking videos, and we're going to have a couple of the models on and talk about spanking. So I will see you guys next week. Let's give Jack a hand. You were a great guest. Oh my God. My eyes are still streaming from that last joke. Do you have any other announcements now, or are we saying good night, Gracie?
Saying good night, Grace.
Good night, Gracie.